Good evening everyone and welcome to RPM Esports. We are here for low gear for round 7, which is in Japan, and we almost had a full lobby, but we are missing 2 drivers, so still should be eventful, and it looks to be dry, so hopefully everything goes well. And now we're just waiting for the drivers to come out, and I already see a McLaren making his way to the pit exit. Hopefully I can check what the weather will be like for the race, see if we have any wet running. Hopefully I can check. And no, I cannot, which is unfortunate, but if it's dry in quality, it should be dry in the race, so that's what the driver should be hoping. Anyway, hopefully my mic is working and everything's up to standard. But now we wait for the drivers to make their way out on the outlaps. But this track is pretty challenging, especially in Sector 1, and there's a lot of death curbs, as you can see right now. You can't ride those curbs or you'll spin, so drivers will have to be very careful when going close to those curbs, because the closer you are to them, the faster you go. High risk, high reward, Sector 1. And after Sector 1, it's a pretty easy lap, honestly, and yeah, it should provide a good racing, especially with the straight as well, and the back straight, offering a lot of overtaking opportunities. And let me put up standings and see who's currently leading into this round, and let's take a look. Just get up really quickly. And currently I see the McLaren driver, Mikel, on his way on his outlap. Get ready to start his lap, and let's hop on board with him and see how he does. Trying to get a good run, and yeah, let's take a look at this. And unfortunately he hasn't validated and backed out, so he did pretty well in Sector 1, but Colin, don't say anything about that. My rear's locked. That's my excuse today. But anyway, let's see who else is on a lap and try catching on board, and let's see who's furthest into the lap, and it should be a Haas car. Let's see if I can catch them, and it is Goey who's on their lap right now. Right behind them I believe it is Spritzy, following closely behind, and we'll be getting lots of slipstream from this. And let's take a look at the championship standings before I forget again. And RPM Eek is actually leading the championship standings by 41 points, so he has an advantage. He has a win in his pocket, so if he does retire from this race, he'll still retain the lead unless Spritzy wins, gets pole position and the fastest lap, and Spritzy sets a 30.2. As I say that, Spritzy is in P2 in the championship, followed by Big Puggy, who's done 2 last firsts this season, which is extraordinary, and should be an RPM record. So hopefully there's an admin here, so they could probably make a channel for that. But anyway, drivers are still completing this lap. Let's hop on board Spifey, see how he does to this final corner. Taking it nice and cautious, doesn't want to spin on the exit. This is pretty tricky traction zone here, and nails it perfectly and sets a 131.8 and puts him up in the P5 and yellow flag in Sector 1, and that is Westy. As I said, Sector 1 is probably the hardest part of this track, and it's not a Ferrari. I see spun, and that is the Maverick. Yes, he has spun. Luckily he was able to catch the car. But now let's hop on board with Richie, who's actually on his lap, getting a podium last race but on his return. So purple sector 2, that might not be true, but let's see. He enters the final 2 corners. Nice and cautious, nailing the traction zone now. Going close to the wall, closest run to the line, and he sets a 29.9 and he goes provisional pole. That's a good lap from Richie. Hope he can keep that up and maybe take a pole position on his second race. That's what I did, my second race back, but hopefully he can repeat that. And at the skis, on his in lap now, but he did set a 30.3, which puts him up in the P2, P3. Now we wait, and the Maverick's actually on medium tyres, so let's see what he can do on his medium tyres. And this might convince people to start on the mediums possibly, but oh, now we have 19 drivers, which is a good, and never mind. It's another yellow flag in sector 1, and that is a Red Bull of I believe it might be Roosevelt, who is on his outlap, and Westy, you can see on the side, cutting the gravel, and the Mavericks has a 31.6, a really good lap time. Maybe if you went closer to the wall, you could have improved up to P7 possibly, but that's a good lap time on the mediums. And now see the Maverick on his lap. The other Ferrari driver hoping to replicate what his teammate did, and seems to be doing very well for himself right now. Now I'm heading into sector 2 now. Purple sector 1, that might not be true, but let's see. Now this is a tricky corner here. I locked up my rears on Monday and went spinning around, so you really have to be careful here. Make sure you don't brake too hard, head into that corner, and you have your foot on the accelerator so you don't lock up those rears. Now head into this corner, 5th gear. Sorshid in the 6th, interesting choice, and now down to 4th to get the cut back. Up to 5th again, and now it's just a back straight. Let's see how he does in the middle sector, see if that's up to par with his teammate possibly. And apparently it's a purple sector 2, let's see what he can do. I'll keep rhyming. Interesting. But let's see, as the Mighty Frax now goes through the final 2 corners, now he heads towards the line, and it is not... It's an alright lap, it's a decent lap, and it seems people seem to be leaving. At the ski has just left the session. Connection issues probably, but... And now see Spritzy on his out lap. Let's actually hop into broadcast mode. TV, we've been on TV pod for a little bit too long. Now we'll watch on the old man set his lap time now. I think his birthday's in the next few weeks. He'll be turning into 69 years old. Wise old Spritzy. Let's see what he could do. Second in the championship. Let's see what he could do on this lap now. Hopefully he'll want to improve, but just have to wait and see. And ooh, nearly invalidating there, but seems to have kept it on. So now he's heading down the main straight, obviously, like everyone does, and now he's heading into turn 1. Let's ride on board with him for a little bit, see how he takes turn 1, and takes it relatively well, very good. And that's an Aston Martin off the track. Everyone seems to be struggling at turn 1. Now Spritzy holding in 5th gear in sector 1, now 4th, wants to get that extra rotation here. Doing well for himself in sector 1. Now I won't be surprised if this is purple. But let's see. And he sets a 32.8 and he goes 3 times up, so he currently is going purple, and he just invalidates there. Oh, Spritzy. And the ski has retired from the session in the pits. Now let's go down to the back, and Big Boggy still in the pits obviously. Probably wanted to do it first again, but that's what he does. And yeah. I move further up the grid, and Kel's on the lap right now. See what he can do. Already in sector 2, but just backs up the lap already, letting Westy past, who is on his out lap. And now I'm seeing Octavio begin his lap. Let's see how well he can do. 5th gear through this whole section. You don't want to really be scrubbing off the time, trying to hold it in 6th gear, but now shifting down to 4th, now up to 5th again, doing very well to avoid that exit curb. Let's see what he could do, and he sets a 32.8, 1/10 up on his time so far. And every single time I watch someone, he keeps saying they're going purple, but that's not quite true so far. And now as he heads into sector 2, being careful not to lock his rears into that corner. Currently doing well for himself right now. He's now heading into approaching sector 3 now, but he has one more corner to negotiate and takes that very well, getting very close to the curb and then running wide on the exit. Now entering sector 3. Let's see what he does. 13.3, 7 times up on his time, so currently he could be making his way into second place if he keeps the lap together. And let's see what he could do. Keeping it nice and cautious, but this is a heavy traction zone. He needs to get this correct, and so far he does, and he sets a 30.5, puts himself up in a P5. He did lose a little bit of time, 1/10 on in the last sector, but he's doing particularly well for himself. And now let's go on board the Spritzy. Will he do another lap? I assume he will, because he hasn't been using his ERS, and I am wrong. He's not. So now it seems on Rauchens, who's invalidated. I was getting a little bit excited because he was improving, but he has invalidated. I believe he is going for another lap possibly, and he would have gone provisional pole at that time if he did not invalidate. So yeah, I believe he is going again, but he did not recharge his ERS. Going wide there, and he invalidates again. Now let's go on board with Sinful, who's actually on his lap now, up in P7, doing well for himself. And Rauchens has retired. I believe he has spun off into the wall, so that's unfortunate from him. Now on board with Sinful, he's 4 times up on his time already, and at this rate he'll be up in a P2. He just needs to hold, keep the lap together, and into this corner. He does have low ERS though, so I don't believe he will be improving that much on the straights, but let's see if he has enough to improve in the corners. And evening backers, good to see you. It's a shame you're not joining me. But anyway, Sinful heading into this corner here, keeping it nice and smooth, but there is a fuel flashing light, so he might be on low fuel, but he's just nailing every single corner. Let's see how far up he is in the sector 2 split, and he is 4/10 up, so he will make his way up to P2 if he nails the rest of this lap, but he will be losing time because he has no ERS. Heading into this corner, nice and smooth. Now the last sector, to the last traction zone. What does he set? He sets a 30.6, barely improving. He does have the pace, but he just needs to nail it on the first lap. He's done currently 3 laps on these tyres, so he will for sure want to do another lap on fresh tyres. Anyway, I see Spritzy on his out lap. The old man here. Yeah, it's not really that bad for a Sids, but he can definitely improve. Sinful could definitely improve. He was up by 4/10 in sector 1, just didn't have the ERS and the fuel to do it, so we could see him further up the grid. Plus, maybe pole, possibly. Yeah, I wouldn't say that backer, but yeah, he could be. But now I see Spritzy on the lap, the old man. That's what I call him. Let's go on board and see what he can do. Yes, let's see what the old man can do. At the grand age of 68, let's see what he can do. Head into turn 1. Getting very close to that curb, not so hopefully. He nails sector 1. Just needs to make it through here and it will be smooth sailing. Holding it in 5th gear. Losing a little bit of time shifting down the 4th gear, but that's what he feels like he should do, so let's see. Will he improve in sector 1? And now we just wait to see the sector 1 split, and he improves by nothing. He's currently down on his time. The last lap I saw him do, he was up by 4/10 and nearly invalidating there, but still being able to hold on to it. Let's see what we can do in sector 2 and sector 3. Hopefully he can claw back this time, because currently Richie is on provisional pole, and I don't want to be a little bit biased here. Kind of want Richie to stay on pole, and Spritzy has backed out of it, and Richie is still in the pits. So provisional pole sitter has only done 1 lap and is still in the pits. Hopefully he comes out again and goes even faster, because I would definitely like to see Richie on pole. And I'm sure everyone in the chat can agree with me, right? That's Richie's backed off, and he will most certainly be going for another lap and trying to improve. So in the meantime, Armakel's invalidated. Big Puggy's actually on a lap, which is very, very shocking right now. Big Puggy's actually on a lap. I'm very, very surprised at this. I haven't seen Big Puggy do qualifying in about a season, so this is very surprising. Something I've never seen before, and he's currently in P10 right now on the medium tyres, so he definitely wants to start on the mediums in the top 10 and maybe possibly go long, which is what he's been doing for nearly every single race, and he's won twice by doing it. Currently, let's actually go back on board with the old man and pushing again. Let's see what he does at the end of his sector 1 split. And he proves about 4 attempts, so currently doing well. Purple for him. Yeah, Colin, but Colin, he's actually on his out lap, so yeah, he wants to secure this pole. And meanwhile, Spritzy's on lap, and there seems to be a little bit of traffic in front of him. I don't want to say too much on I don't want to say too much on that, because it might slow him down, and that might be good for Richie. But as he heads through end of sector 2, let's see what his split is, and he could potentially go provisional pole, and he's only 3 tenths up, so he's on edge right now. And this might be his last lap, so he's on edge right now. Let's see if he can nail the last corner. See if he can actually challenge Richie. And as he heads final corner, he goes towards the line and barely goes in front of Richie. Now, this is all on Richie if he wants to get pole, and he's currently on his out lap, and I'm sure he can improve. So, Richie's actually giving his teammate a tow right now, getting out of the way. Seems what they doing. And that was pretty strange, but let's go on board with Richie right now, who's about to start his lap. Let's see how well he could do. He might be getting a slight tow from his teammate. Hopefully his teammate does get out of the way and not bother him on his lap, because the boss might, someone might get sacked if that happens. But Richie on his lap, going really confident in this sector 1, 6th gear, then down to 5th, and he's still holding it in 5th gear while we've seen other drivers shift down to 4th. Still in 5th gear. Hopefully he can nail this part. And so far he's doing very well for himself. Let's see, can he improve? And no, he's 2 tenths down, so this isn't going really well for Richie, but he will start in the front row, I am sure of that. But hopefully he can claw back the time in sector 2, and hopefully his teammate gives him a tow on the back straight. That would be extraordinary if that was the case and Richie's able to snatch back pole, but doesn't seem like he is right now. Hopefully he's able to do so. Now following his teammate getting the tow in these parts, and now Richie take it nice and easy. Come on, Richie, you got the pace in it. Now Richie will have the tow for this whole back straight. Hopefully he gains time. This is a very extraordinary. No, he's still 2 tenths down. I don't think he has it unless he poled his last corner. Let's see, is he able to take pole? Nice and smooth in the last corner. Is he able to take it? Still going to complete the lap. Can he take it? Can he? No, he barely misses out. Oh, so unfortunate for Richie. Oh, lost 2 tenths in sector 1. Still was able to carry on. Still 2 tenths down in sector 2 and gained all that time in sector 3, but it was not enough. Very unfortunate for Richie, but he is starting on the front row, so hopefully we can see him possibly take the lead. But this was very close at the front, and Sinful, P3 for Sinful. What an amazing qualifying from him. I believe that is his best qualifying this season. P3 for Sinful, and he's in the fight for pole, and he was in the fight for pole as well. I keep starting for no reason, but wow, Sinful up in P3, doing very well. only 1/10 behind Richie, and that seems to be it of qualifying. And that was exciting. Rather see Richie on pole, that's for sure. But he did nail that last chicane. If only if he was equal on his entire lap before that last chicane, he would have improved by at least 2 tenths on that time, because he did gain 2 tenths in that chicane alone. Well, now we wait for Octavio to enter the pits, and that's it. Wow, so I forgot to ask the chat, but what's your predictions for this race currently after qualifying? What's your predictions? Hopefully I actually get some answers this time. Hopefully. Unlike last time when nobody gave me a response. But yeah, look how close that is. 2 tenths between the top 3. And at the ski only set 1 lap and is in P4. So very, very good. And Eek, where's Eek? Eek is at the back, starting last, so I didn't even think he did a lap, but Big Poggy actually did a lap, surprisingly, so they must have swapped. And he's in P10 on the mediums, and Craig was actually P8 on the mediums, so he's the lead medium runner so far, so yeah. Well, give you a rundown on the top 3. We got Richie starting from pole, Richie alongside him and Sinful. Amazing qualifying from him. P3, I believe that's his best. And now we wait for the race. And now we are just waiting for the drivers to choose their strategies, so yeah. And Colin, your prediction is Alpine and Ferrari, and at the ski will have good race pace, and yeah, he actually does most of the time have good race pace. I was surprised when he retired, and before the session ended, so he only did 1 lap. Hopefully the Mavericks are actually able to back up his teammate who's starting at the front. So now we're still waiting for the cars to pick their strategies, and yeah. Very disappointing that only 1 person responded to my question when there's at least 7 people watching. So do better, do better. But now let's take a look at the strategies. And it's a one-stop strategy, soft or hard, but that's not actually true. You can actually one-stop by boxing at lap 10 and fitting on the mediums and go to the end. It's possible around here, and it's pretty easy to do. And you would rather actually go to the mediums rather than the hards, because the hards actually have no grip on at the beginning, so the medium runners will be gapping them by over a second a lap. Then when the mediums wear out, the gap will just stay the same, honestly. So let's take a look at what the 9 drivers at the back chose. And a lot of people went on the mediums, and 1 person is even on the hards, and that's a little bit baffling why you would choose the hards around here. But he must be planning to go really, really long. Hopefully he doesn't spin out on the start. But anyway, as see, let's count how many on the mediums. First off, we've got Crago, then we've got Big Puggy and Wesley, both teammates on the medium tyres. Mike Rax is on the medium as well, planning to go along, maybe support his teammate at the end of the race possibly. And then we actually have Eek starting at the back of the grid. I believe he's trying to do it last first possibly, because he does have an advantage of 41 points to the next car, which is Spritzy. So that is, I can't do math, that is 6 drivers on the mediums, 1 on the hards and the rest on the softs. So pretty interesting on what is this, what is going on here. Seems cars are holding back a little bit, and let's go on more of the leaders, because this start will be crucial for who will win this race, because track position is very key around here. If you're 6 tenths behind and you have DRS, you're going to find it very tricky to overtake. The straights are just not long enough. Now we're just waiting, and Roosevelt is very, very far behind the pack. If he does catch up, but luckily the tires actually stay their temperature when you're on the grid, so they don't decrease like last game. As it would be a massive problem if it was still in this game for sure. There'll be a lot of penalties going around if that was the case. Anyway, now we're just waiting, and still nobody's responded. I'm very disappointed. Very disappointed. But now the drivers on the grid are starting to line up, so let's get ready for the start. Alpine seem to be doing the best right now with a 1-4. Oh, pardon me. Oh, sorry. Anyway, Alpines are leading right now, and being split apart by Richie and Sinful. So now we wait for the grid to line up. Any day now. And here we go. Oh no, and the lights are coming out. And okay, let's go. And Richie gets a good start. He might challenge Spritzy into turn 1, and Aleski gets an amazing start and is going in between both of them, heading into turn 1 and backs out there. Doesn't want to cause carnage to turn 1, and Richie backs out as well, not wanting to make any contact, and Sinful being pushed wide a little bit and loses the place too. And he gets spun around. Oh, and hits Smithy as well. Oh, carnage. Oh no. Oh no. That's a definite report there. Both Mercedes drivers are out. That's not good for Mercedes. Look at the pile up there. Oh no, it's a full-on safety car. What I saw there was that Sinful was pushed wide a little bit, and then Atlaski went for the move. He stuck his nose in there and got spun round. Oh no. Well, early safety car. Don't know why every time I'm on comms it's an early safety car, so great. And let's see who made the most positions on this half a lap. If I can check. And Rauchen's gained 3 positions on this lap, and he gained 12 because of that carnage back there. No damage, so he's doing well for himself. Let's take a look at if any cars ahead actually have damage, and I don't believe they do. And Mike Frack's gained 3 positions as well, already doing a solid for his teammate, being the top 10 now. And yeah, very, very interesting start. And Westy got shafted. He dropped down all the way to P15. I don't believe he has damage, but he got shafted a lot. Both Red Bulls as well got hit with that as well, so yeah, very unfortunate. Even for the Mercs now, both of them out. Very unfortunate for Sinful. Started P3, is now out of the race. And now it seems Spritzy's actually boxing. Spritzy and Spifey are boxing. I don't know what they're doing, but they might be going to the hards. So I did see this before, and they might be going to the end of this race because the hards can actually do the whole race, but I don't believe it's worth it. Heavy fuel on the hards. Colin, I know you're in the chat. What do you think about this? Especially regarding the fact that hards have absolutely no grip on high fuel loads, so they will be struggling. Especially now that they're behind everyone, and now Rich is actually leading the race, so hopefully, Colin, if you're here, hopefully you can give me some of your insight, as you are the strategic genius. But I don't believe it is worth it, honestly. So, yeah. Spifey. Oh, no. Spritzy, Big Puggy, and Smithy on the hard tyres. Mick and Gamble trying to go to the end, and Mikael and Ugalab are actually on the mediums, so they will be boxing for sure again. And Richie now in the lead, and Craig has made his way up to P4 in the medium tyres, so he's having an amazing race. Yeah, I kind of agree with you, Colin, but pace-wise, I don't believe he'll be gaining to the soft runners, so track position is key, so he will be struggling to get past the cars ahead, so I think he might have just bottled the race already. I think he already bottled the race already by pitting for the hard tyres this early. He will be going to the end, but by the time the soft runners pit, they might have a pit stop gap, because I'm sure some drivers will be slower than others, so We'll see. We'll see. Now, safety car might be in this lap, but if it's not, I'll take a look at the press room. Exciting. And let's take a look at the press room and see safety car on this lap or no. I believe not. It will be out for another lap, so let's take a look. In a minute. They oh my days. They didn't even do the new press room. Wait, have they even, wait, they haven't even done a new press room. So, well, they haven't done a new press room yet, so I can't do anything about that, so that is great. Now we just have to stay behind the safety car for another lap. So, and actually, the Mavericks actually up in the P6 now, so he's doing very, very well. Ferrari's looking very strong right now. Two drivers on different strategies, and Spritzy in the mud right now, behind a lot of traffic ahead of him. So, anyone else going to give me predictions for this race after what you've seen now, or are you just going to still blank me and ignore me and not give me any content? Now, oh no, give me well, Richie seems to be doing pretty well. P2 now up to first place, and he should be net first place, and yeah, safety car should be in this lap, so let's wait and see. So if I am correct, safety car should be in this lap because the grid is bunched up and the minimum's 1 lap, so yeah, hopefully it is in. And safety car is in this lap, so we'll be on board with Richie and see how he reacts to the safety car being in, so let's see when he chooses to go. Go on board with Richie. And I believe he will go on the exit of this corner and try to catch at the ski out, probably. Yes, and he has got a good run out of that corner at the ski. Caught napping a little bit. Rauchens as well. 6/10 gap. At the ski won't be challenging Richie into turn 1. And now we are racing again. And already, Spritzy's already making the moves into turn 1. And he's making another one right now, so 2 moves in the span of just the entire straight, so I might be wrong about Spritzy, but still a lot of traffic ahead. We're now back to the front. Let's focus on the front now. Richie now extending the gap to 7/10 now. We could see him extend the gap to 1 second. We're going a little bit wide there. Hopefully he keeps it on track and has no problems. But now nearly at a 7/10 gap. Seems at the ski is struggling a little bit to keep up with Richie. As Richie is now seems to be controlling this race. And the gap seems to be getting bigger and bigger. It's 9/10 now, so he might be out of DRS by the next lap, which will not be good for his race as he will be under pressure from Rauchens. And already there's a gap to Crago, who's on the medium tyres, and he's currently holding up Octavio, who must really want to get past now. But meanwhile, back at the front, nearly 9/10, and Richie breaking slipstream a little bit. Now Richie, as he approaches the last corner, 7/10 doesn't seem the gap is slowing down. Oh, Richie getting a little bit out of shape on the exit of that corner. That's giving Atlaski a chance to close up a little bit more. And now Atlaski is still behind, and Rauchens is actually gonna get knocked out of DRS if he doesn't pick up the pace now, because Atliski is right behind Richie now, and he's 1 second out. And I believe that was Eek who made the move on Spifey into turn 1, possibly. And now the gaps seem to be forming, and already the top 2 have a 1 second gap to the car behind, and then there's a further 2.6 seconds to Craigo, who seems now just to be wanting to make it to the end, and Octavio must be wanting to get past now, and that is Westy, who's gotten overtaken by his teammate and Spritzy as well. Spritzy is currently cutting through the field right now. Sorry. Now let's close up to Spifey. Could we see a move on the next straight? Meanwhile, back at the front, it's now 5/10 gap. So Richie's doing well to start to extend that gap again. Taking a look at ERS, Richie has the advantage 63% to, I believe it's 56%. So currently Richie is controlling the race right now. The ERS advantage, he should not be overtaken very easily. Now Atliski is using all of his ERS to try and make the move on Richie as he's closing up very, very quickly. Let's see, will he make the move into turn 1? No, he's too far back. No, he can't make the move into turn 1, but very, very close behind Richie, but Richie still holding out. And Atliski using lots of ERS, trying to keep up with Richie right now. As now Rauchens has fallen out of the DRS gap, and is now 1.8 seconds behind. And that is Big Poggy, who's made a move on Spritzy into turn 1, and they're both going side by side into the sector 1, and a little bit of contact there, and Spritzy's made his way. No, has defended his position, and now chasing off the spike views on the mediums, and someone spun. Who is that? And that is Ruza Virtuous spun, and is now not plumb last, but at the back of the grid now. That's not what he wants. Focusing back at the front. The top 2 are just running away with this race. Already nearly a 3-second gap to Rauchens behind. Richie's doing very well to hold a place, while Atliski is still using all of his ERS to try and keep up with him. So Richie does have the advantage right now, and Atliski is still using all of his ERS while Richie's using none of it. I believe Atliski might try and make the move this lap, just use his ERS to try and get closer and closer. Hopefully Richie can nail this last corner so he has a big enough gap so that he doesn't have to deal with Atliski, and it seems that he does have a little bit of a gap. And now we see Atliski with DRS now closing up very quickly, but he's still too far back. So Richie is fast on the straights currently, and looks like it's going to remain that way. And now 3-second gaps to Rauchens. He seems to just be cruising this race. Happy with taking 3rd so far. And now it's Spritzy making his way up in P9 now. He's doing very well for himself after the pit into those hards very early on. And let's take the gap to leader. And currently he's 12 seconds back, so soon he'll be a pit stop behind if he doesn't keep up this pace, but hopefully he's able to. But currently he's at the disadvantage because he will be going to the end on those hards, I'm sure of it. But if there is a safety car, I believe he might box, and we'll just have to wait and see. And now, back up to the front, 3.1. Rauchens is behind now, and Atliski still following Richie close behind, as Richie now making his way into sector 3 now. 6 tenths up, 7 tenths now ahead of Atliski, who's now using his ERS to further closing on that gap, and Richie's actually using. Richie doesn't have that advantage, ERS advantage anymore, as he has been using it to stay a good gap ahead. Now, the straight, the moment, does Atliski have enough to overtake Richie? I believe not. And that is a spinner again, and that is, I believe, Ruzaberch again. And now Atliski is still not able to close in. But he does have the ERS advantage now, but he doesn't know that. So he's just playing it cautious, and now 3.2 seconds behind, and Octavio's actually managed to make his way past, and Big Pug is actually boxed, so he must have damage. But Octavio, as I was saying, has made it past Craig, and is now up into P4 right now. Now, let's take a look at gap to lead and see if Spritzy is gaining. No, Spritzy is currently losing time. It was 12 seconds before. Now he's already lost a second in this lap, so not doing too well for Spritzy right now. I believe he's catching up to traffic now. Catch up to Goey, so yeah. It's now back up, and that is another spin for Rusa Birch. Just not going his way. Might need to put on a new set of tyres because it's just not going well for him. But now let's get at the back. Now back up to the front, Richie. With 6th, 10th gap again, and Aleski was 70% ERS, so I'm sure, and that is Rusa Birch again off your side. And now Craigo, and is that Octavio? Octavio spun. Octavio spun and it's cost him a lot of positions now. Oh, that's not good for Octavio now. Now he's at the back. Now focusing back up to the front. Aleski is very close to Richie, so we could see a move for the lead right now. And I believe that is Rusa Birch has spun again, and as we see, Aleski goes for the move into turn 1. Does he do it? And yes, he does. And he's a car length ahead now. Makes that move pretty easily with the help of DRS. But now Richie's behind. Does not have the ERS advantage, but he'll be able to gain. And that is another yellow flag. Another spin. Rusa Birch just box, put on new tyres and carry on. I believe it. I don't know whether he's spinning on purpose or something, but just keeps on spinning in these corners. And now Richie 5 attempts behind. Hopefully he can stick with him. Hopefully he can, and now 8 attempts behind. So I believe Richie might be struggling now on his A-level tyres. But he's not done yet. He's still within DRS, and he will be using his ERS to catch up, while Aleski's using all of it to try to pull out of that DRS gap. Don't believe it. Richie is now out of DRS, but you possibly come back at it because he will have slipstream on Aleski right now. So let's see. And Aleski's using all of his ERS, I'm sure of it. No, he's not. He just, I believe he is fast on the straight. So now the gap's 1.3. So now Richie's out of DRS now. So, well. Now going behind, I see a fight for 6th place going on right now. And Aleski sets fastest lap, so he has been holding back, and now he's pushing. Now I see a battle between Goey and Spritzy and Mighty Frax. Now gap to leader is 14 seconds for Spritzy, so, and he's out of ERS as well, so he is starting to struggle now. So I don't believe it's paid off. I don't believe it's paid off at all. Now he's watching the fight ahead happen. Sorry. Now, Goey is really close behind the Mighty Frax, and we could see a few pits up this lap possibly for the medium tyres, and that is Big Pug. He sets the fastest lap now on the mediums. And now I see gaps being the same, and now they're out for 5th now because the Mavericks actually caught up to E. The Mighty Frax, I mean, has got up to Eek. I believe he's made a mistake, but from last place he's already up to P5, so he's doing very, very well for himself right now. And as they carry on, gaps seem to be stabilising a bit. The Mighty Frax hovering within 7 attempts of RPM Eek. Now that's 9 attempts. I've probably cursed him there. And Goey's hovering within 6th to 7th attempts, and now possibly there could be a move on for P6 now, because Mighty Frax is nearly out of DRS range. And as I say, Richie and RPM Rouches are boxed and trying to go for the undercut, I presume. But personally, I believe the overcut is the way, because they'll have to get used to this, and in Sector 1 it's very tricky to do it on the new tyres, so yeah. And now let's see where they exit. Hopefully they don't exit into traffic, and they exit at the end of this train. So that's perfect for them now. They have clean air to do what they need to do. But hopefully he has a good outlap, because we will possibly see Aleski box this lap, but he's just pushing away right now. And he's already encountering 2 lap cars ahead, so he could possibly lose time on them fighting, because they don't realistically have to get out of the way right away as they are fighting. But I believe he'll box before he does catch up to them, unless he's trying to go long. So now and that is Fritzy making a move on the Mighty Frax, and I believe the Mighty Frax made a mistake there, so try to see if anything has gone wrong there, and no, it doesn't seem anything has, so he must have just half spun, and now Fritzy's all the way up into B4, but now he's 15 seconds behind the leader, so, and he doesn't have to, and Alex Key continues, so he's carrying on while Richie's actually caught up to Uglab right now and might possibly make the move into turn 1, highly likely, as he is gaining a lot on Uglab right now. Let's go on board with Richie, see if he can make the move. He does have the ERS advantage. The light is flashing behind Uglab, but I don't believe he has enough row to do it. No, he does not. That's not going to help him at all, because he will be stuck behind Uglab this entire sector 1, and probably this entire lap. That won't help him at all. Try to chase down that ski. Now back up, and Mikhail's actually half spun, and I believe he's went into the wall, because now he's missing his front end plate, so that's not good at all. Now Richie still stuck behind Uglab right now, hoping he can get past very quickly, because now Rauchen has caught up very, very quickly now. So they are going to begin to lose a lot of time, and that is another yellow flag in sector 1, and that, I believe that is Misqueta, who was spun. Oh, that is Octavio, my mistake. But now Richie is still stuck behind Uglab, who just refuses to get out of the way. He doesn't have to, but he really should. But now they're having a fight ahead, as Mikhail is starting to struggle, and I believe Richie might try getting the move on Uglab right now, as he's currently right behind him, and they go into the last corner. Richie doesn't make the move, but he still stays behind, and that ski now finally boxes. And I believe he'll be ahead by a comfortable margin, because these two have been stuck behind Uglab for this entire time. And now Richie makes his way and up the road. You can see at the ski, and he is currently 1.4 ahead, 1.3 ahead. So Richie has lost time, and that is Westy. Oh, come on. Oh, Westy. Oh no, Westy. You just had to do that, didn't you? But now Richie's actually caught up, 6 tenths behind now, but he's on 1 lap older tyres than at the skis now. But he should be gaining a lot, because at the ski will have to get used to these tyres, and it will take at least 2 laps probably to get used to them. So this is all for Richie right now. This is all to play for. Currently Rauchen's behind by 4 tenths as well. This is the battle for the net race lead currently. So let's keep on board with them as they make their way. And that's Octavio, who's retired in the pits. He was in the points, but sadly he wanted to retire. So now oh, Atlas and Wesley had contact. Oh, I thought you just spun off. Thanks for the confirmation. But now, as we're now focusing on this battle here, Richie has DRS on Atlas Ski. Atlas Ski barely has the advantage ERS wise, but Richie going round the outside, attempting to go round the outside, and is that a Red Bull ahead? That's when Atlas Ski goes wide and Richie goes up into P7 right now. The net race lead, and Routers is challenging as well. Routers goes up as well. Wow, and what's happened here is that Rusapach has gone off the track, and this is perfect for Richie now, as Alex Ski is now stuck behind Rauchens. So Alex Ski must have got distracted by what happened ahead and gone really wide, and now Richie to make the cutback. And now we see Richie now approaching the traffic ahead. Smithy on the hard tyres. This should be an easy move for him. And now Aleski's beginning to drop back a little bit. I'm not too sure if he has damage or anything, because he did have contact with Westy, which is what I am told, so he could have damage possibly, but we have to wait and see. And now Richie right behind Smithy, and he might make the move now. 100% ERS for Richie. He's not doing it. He wants to do it on the straight, because Smithy won't have DRS, I assume. I believe he will. No, he will not have the... Oh, I'm not too sure. The gap keeps on changing. But now Richie has to make it through. Let's see. Does he have? And he does. I believe Richie will have the straight line speed advantage and would make the move into turn 1 possibly. And no, he cannot. He's too far back right now, so he will have to stay behind. Now this is a train forming as 2 slow cars ahead are just battling it out right now. And now we see Spifey struggling to keep up with Spifey. So we can see a move in the next few corners, possibly from Richie. But I believe he wants to keep it safe. He is on 100% ERS, so he is just saving, and Route Chen's getting a little bit out of shape there, and this allows Atlaski to make the move on him. And then, oh! Atlaski, what have you done? What have you done? He's gone straight into Richie. I'm not too sure if he has damage or not. That is a huge mistake from Atlaski, going straight up the inside of Richie. And I believe Richie got away with it, so I believe Richie got away with it, so I'm happy that Richie got away with it, but that's just very, very strange. Hopefully he doesn't have damage, but I don't think he does. I think he only hit his tyre. I think his tyre only had contact with Atlaski, but that is just I hope so too, Colin. We'll see if he boxes or not. No, he's still carrying on. I don't think he does, but I don't know what that was, but he just kamikaze dived into Richie. I don't know why he did that, but now Richie's lost a lot of time to Rauchen's ahead. If only if I had tasks, I can actually be able to check, but I can't. But it seems like he's able to keep up with Rauchen's, and it seems like he's not struggling. I don't believe he has damage, so yeah, I'm happy about that. I'm just disappointed on why that move was made, or attempt of the move was made. Almost probably taken out Richie, but Richie's still doing good right now. He's doing fine, doesn't seem to have damage, and now Rauches might try and make the move, and no, he doesn't. I'm thankful Richie doesn't have damage. I'm thankful he doesn't have damage, because that would have been absurd right there. Oh. That wouldn't have been good at all. I'm happy about that. But now focusing back on the race. And that is Kel who has spun. Everyone seems to be spinning sector 1, and the Big Polly's actually made his way up back into P10 after struggling to after getting damage, I believe. So now back up to the front. Rauchens is still trying to get past Spifey right now. Let's see. Is he able to now? And I believe he will. He gets held up a little bit, and that will compromise his run. And Spifey actually has DRS as well, and that is the Mighty Factor has boxed for his I believe he's boxing to the hard tyres towards the end of the race, and yes, he is. No, he's going to the softs. 10 laps to the end, so yeah, and Richie nearly making the move on Rauchens there. And currently there seems to be a massive gap to Spritzy, so this strategy might work for Spritzy right there. But I'm not too sure. There is 10 laps still remaining, and Rauchens and Rauchens and Richie are still stuck behind Spifey and Smithy. Hopefully they do make the move soon so that they don't get stuck for the whole race. But Spifey should be boxing soon, so that will relieve a little bit of pressure. And that is, I believe, oh, big buggy. I know, that's Wesley. Wesley's out of the race, and that will be a safety car. This is perfect for the medium runners at the front. They will be able to get a cheap pit stop and box to the soft tyres for sure. Oh, Westy. Why you ruining Westy? Why you ruining the master plan, man? Oh no, Westy. Well, Ferrari seems to be doing good, but this is perfect for the medium runners to get a cheap pit stop. I believe Spritzy will box as well, definitely. Let's see, will Spritzy box? And I am sure he will box, because if he stays out, he is going a little bit crazy. But yes, he does box. And I'll be waiting and see. Will Richie or Rauchens box possibly? As I did say, track position is key, and they're still on particularly fresh mediums, and they do box, so this seems to be the order right now. Currently. Well, let's go. I believe Go might stay out, possibly. No, he doesn't. He boxes. And everyone's boxed into the softs, and the Maverick might gain a few positions because of this. As he now heads down the straight, let's see how many positions he will gain. He could potentially move up to P4 here. But no, he moves up to P5 now. It's a shame for Richie and Rauchens, as they will now have to deal with this now. And Spritz is actually on medium tyres, so yeah, and this has changed. Now Craig was in the lead, Eek is second, Spritz is third, Smithy's fourth, Mike Fax is fifth, Spifey's sixth, Rauchens seventh, and Richie's now eighth. As Geek gets a time penalty for cutting corners, and he's still on the hard tyres after doing that dive bomb. So now we're on the safety car again. And unfortunately for Mesquita, he is lapped, so he won't be able to make his way up to catch the pack. So yeah, unfortunately Mikel is not, so he'll most likely box. No, he's carrying on. He wants to catch up to the pack. But now we've got interesting strategic choices, and now Atlas Key's behind Richie again, which is, I don't believe, will be too particularly good. He might try and dive in again, possibly. Hopefully it doesn't. But now we wait to see who will come out on top. This will be a sprint towards the end, because I'm sure nobody else made the pit stops. Now we'll probably have to wait another lap patiently. Whew. Well, we should see a lot of reports, so yeah, it'll be a long evening for the stewards, I'm sure of that. So, anyone else going to respond to me again? This is your last chance. Predictions, anyone? Predictions for what will happen in this last 10 laps, or last 8 laps. Yeah, last 8 laps of this race. Any predictions towards that, maybe? Or are you guys going to ghost me again? That make me feel lonely. Now, Mike Frank's doing very well for himself, up in the P5. If he possibly stayed up 1 lap longer, he might have been up in P4. And might be challenging Spritzy for the podium places, so yeah. Hopefully we don't see carnage like lap 1. And now the pack has bunched up together. Now we just wait for safety car to come in this lap. I'm sure it will. And we've had 5 retirements so far, so yeah. And 14 runners left, so far everyone is getting a point, but yeah, everyone will be pushing and hoping to get another point. Oh, sorry. Everyone will be hoping to get more points. So yeah, hopefully Richie's able to climb his way back up again to P2 or P1 possibly, but I highly doubt it due to the fact that Eek, championship leader, is up in the P2 and might pull off a last to first like Big Poggy did multiple times, as he is now challenging Craigo for the win, I'm sure of it, and safety car is still not in this lap. So we'll be waiting. Oh wait, it is in, so here we go, the show will continue. Let's see who's gonna win. Let's get my boys ready for this. As Craigo takes it nice and slow, nice and slow. With safety car to be in. And now he's gone. Or he gets a good launch. Not for Spritzy. Spritzy doesn't. Maverick gets a good launch as well. Spifey gets caught napping a lot. He's already 1 second behind. This won't help Rich your route gens now. So now back up to the fight for the lead. Eek currently behind Craigo. Let's see what he can do. Spitzy following closely behind as well, along with Smithy as well. The Mighty Frats as well was following closely. And no moves have been made so far. But Routers might try and make the move sooner or later. He's only 2 tenths behind Spifey. Ooh, getting a little bit out of shape there. This will allow Richie to close up a little bit. And Routers might not make the move. He will want to make it past as quickly as he can, but I believe he will. And at the ski, 6 tenths behind on those hard tyres, still ahead of Goey's on those fresh soft tyres. And Big Poggy's already made a move on Oaklab for P11. Big Poggy might try and make his way through the pack as well, but focuses it back on the front. Craigo, 5 tenths ahead of RPM Eek. Spitzy, 4 tenths behind them, both of them. And, not both of them, I mean behind Eek. So, could see a move for the lead. A couple of laps when DRS is enabled. There's still 7 laps remaining of this race, so you could see a lot of moves right now. In the meantime, it seems everything's staying the same. But Spikey might get the move. Oh, Rauchen's going onto the grass there, compromising his entire move. He would have had the move done and done there, but he just got on the grass and just went completely off track there. And now Richie might make the run, and Richie does. He gets past the Rauchens now, so Richie will be able to push on. And his teammate, the Mighty Frax, is holding on to the, barely holding on to the top 4 right now. As now we see Richie now trying to catch up Spifey right now, back up to the front. Still the same order for the top 5 right now. Nothing has changed. They're just going in the train together. There's still 6 laps remaining after this one. So now, could we see a move soon? Smithy is actually very, 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 very close to Spritzy right now. As he gets on the curb a little bit there and loses all of that time he gained. But now let's go on board with Richie. Getting very, very, very close to Spifey right now. Hopefully his teammate extends so that Spifey does not get the DRS. And that is soon close about to happen. As now Big Poggy makes his move, makes the move on Goey and is now going to chase off Atlas Ski. And speaking of Atlas Ski, he's now behind Rauchens by 6 tenths on those hard tyres, still able to hold on. Now in the meantime, Richie following closely behind. Hopefully he can get a good run and possibly pull off the overtake this lap. If he's able to do it, he will have the possibility of getting a podium. As he gets very close, he gets a good run out of this corner, so he might make the move this lap with ERS. Using all of his ERS, can he make the move? Tries to go down the inside. No, he's going to back out of it, I believe. No, he keeps his nose in there and makes the move. Come on, Richie! Come on! He makes the move on the P6 with his teammate ahead. His teammate might want to get out of the way and let Richie possibly attack the front 4, attack 3rd and 4th on the medium tyres. But back up to the front, I see Ika's getting very, very close to Craigo, and Craigo's still holding on to the lead. So I could possibly see Craigo winning this race, maybe. But we have to wait and see. Still 5 laps remaining after this one. And now Richie getting very, very close to the Mighty Frax. Let's see, will the Mighty Frax move out of the way and allow Richie to make his way up into P5 and chase after Smithy for P4. But he might do it on the straight, which is most convenient for everyone else. But I missed it. Rauches made the move on Spifey, who's actually dropped back all the way to 1.4 seconds, are now at the skis very close. And now the Mighty Frax has done it. The Mighty Frax has moved out of the way, allowing Richie, but he might have compromised himself as Rauchens is now making the move on the Mighty Frax. And the Mighty Frax backs out of it. No one's in to cause any harm to anyone. Now Rauchens very close behind Richie. We could see a move on the straight, but Rauchens doesn't get a particularly good run. But he does have DRS, so we could see the move into turn 1. Hopefully Richie is able to hold on to it, but now Rauchens is gaining very, very quickly. And he goes up the inside into turn 1. Will he do it? Will he pull it off? And yes, he does. He does pull it off, but gets on the curb. But he still holds it. And now hopefully these two can work together and chase after the front 4. And now Spritzer getting very close to Eek. Now it seems the soft tyres might be losing a little bit of time. And Spifey has retired from this race. Could we see another safety car possibly? And we do not. So we are clear of that safety car now. So still a fight to the end of this race. And Rauchens is not gaining that much. But he does set a purple sector 1, 7/10 up on his PB. So let's see, is he able, and he's gaining a lot on Smithy right now. Whew, interesting few laps, and that is a Big Puggy making his way up to P8 in front of Atlas Skis. Really struggling on those hard tyres now. Big Puggy making his way into the top 8. So now, let's see, can RPM Eek pull off a move into turn 1 possibly, because he is 3 tenths behind. We'll have Slipstream along this back straight, and we'll have DRS heading into turn 1. Will he pull off the move? We have to wait and see. But meanwhile, Spritzy 5 tenths behind as well. We could possibly see a move from him on RPM Eek, but we won't. And here they are. Rauchens and Richie are here. They are both behind Smithy, who's struggling a little bit to catch up, to keep up with Spritzy. And now Spritzy getting very close to Eek, and I believe he might make the move into turn 1. Will he? It's getting very, very close to the back of Eek, and Eek might try and make the move on Krieger, but no, they're both too far back. And I believe Rauchens getting very, very close to Smithy right now. 3 laps remaining. This is the fight for the win, basically. But we still have to wait and see. And Richie, a little bit back, but he's still within DRS. Hopefully he's able to catch up sooner or later. Hopefully his tyres aren't overheating, because they do overheat in sector 1. So now, back to the front. Craigo taking it nice and slow, still holding on to this lead. Can he pull it off? And I believe that is Mikhail who has spun. And now, as we see, Eek very close to Craigo. Hopefully he could possibly make the move now. They're both on the same amount of tyres. And Craigo actually has more ERS than Eek, so that's probably why he's able to hold off the position, off Eek. So we just have to wait and see. Could he possibly make the move on the back straight? But no. And now Smithy is struggling. Rauchens makes the move. Richie behind as well. He might try and make the move on the straight, as Smithy has no ERS left. As now we see Richie taking it nice and slow. And that is Eek and Craigo who are side by side for the lead right now. Craigo on the outside, Eek makes the move, and Eek has DRS, so he will take the lead. And Smithy's making the move as well up into P2 right now, and he will be possibly chasing RPM Eek for the race win. And now we'll see Richie going up the inside of Smithy. Ow, Richie! Richie drifts it and he keeps it on track. Oh, Richie! Richie drifts it and keeps it on track. Jeez. What a drift. But now focusing back on the front. And that is Rauchens who has spun. And he's collected a Smithy as well. Richie's got collected as well. Oh, Richie, no. Oh, that's unfortunate. Oh, that is very unfortunate for Richie. Mighty Frax up in the P5 now. Richie, after that amazing drift, it's now back down to P8. It seems Rauchens might have had a contact with Smithy. I'm not too sure, but oh, unfortunate for Richie. But focusing back for the battle of the lead, Spritzy 4 tenths behind Eek right now. This is very, very exciting. Let's see what will happen in these last 2 laps. Can Spritzy win the race? Can the old man win the race? 69 years of age. He will want to win this race. I would like to have a chat with him as well. Let's see. Well, I'm probably already going to have a chat with him, but let's see. He's now heading through the back straight. I don't believe he'll want to make the move here, obviously. want to do it on the straight as the soft tires is now starting to wear out. Let's go on board with Spritzy, see how if he will make the move. He's very close to Eek right now. Eek taking a defensive line, trying to hold it into turn 1. Spritzy very close. Eek now going to the outside line. Spritzy going up the inside, heading into turn 1, and he takes the lead. But Eek trying to make the move back again. He's not able to do so. And now Aliski has made his way up in the P5 on those hard tyres. The softs are starting to wear out a lot. But now Big Poggy was surprisingly up in the P4 after the carnage I witnessed the lap before. But now Spritzy is now leading the race and could possibly win the race. This will be a good day for Alpine today. But in the meantime, he could possibly make a comeback. But no, it doesn't seem like he has the pace anymore. I think he's starting to struggle on those soft tyres. But now Craigo's starting to pressurise him from behind, so we can see possibly see a move on Craig on Eek from Craigo. So we have to wait and see on the main straight. And well, this was a very exciting race. Spritzy on pole will probably take the race win, but let's see if he's able to hold it for the remainder of the laps, because he could spin on the curb possibly. But now the Maverick, well, it's actually very close to Aliski, so he might try and make the move on him on the straight. But in the meantime, Craigo very close behind RPM Eek. These two could go side by side again, but let's see what will happen. Craigo preparing himself for a good run, and RPM Eek's light is flashing, so he does not have the ERS to fight it. So now Craigo catching up very quickly. It's now going down the inside. Oh, little bit touch and go there, but now Eek is able to hold the position. But I believe Craigo might try to get the run back on him, but no, he's not able to. So in the meantime, I believe Spritzy has won this race, because you can't really lose it here unless he bolts it. But let's focus elsewhere. Maverick very close behind Aliski right now, starting to gain very closely, but we could see a penalty for Aliski later on for doing kamikaze dive on Richie, but he had a flag at the back, and that is Outchens. Very unfortunate for him. But now look at RPM Eek, lost a second right now, doing very well for himself. But now Spritzy is running away with the victory right now. Wow, what an exciting race it was today. But now Craigo, with the ERS advantage, might try and make the move on the back straight. He is only 5 tenths behind, but I don't think he is close enough to make the move. He'll be bumping up his battery right now to see if he can possibly make the move. In the last corner, he is gaining very quickly right now. Could we possibly see it? No, I think he is too far back. But RPM Eek's light is flashing. Could we see a move on the run down to turn to the final corner? No, we cannot, and Eek will come home to take P2 as Spritzy wins. What a drive from Spritzy. Amazing drive from him. Craigo P3, Eek P2, Big Poggy P4, at the ski P5, and Minefrax P6. Goey will finish P7, Richie will finish P8. Commiserations for him. He was doing very well. We got caught up in all of that. Could have possibly been on the podium today, but Uglab and Mikkel go side by side, and Uglab takes it as Mikkel had a penalty. Uglab P9, Mikkel P10, Smithy. Fortunate for him, he was doing very well as well, but got caught up in the mess that happened, and he will finish P11, still getting points. And then we'll see Rauchens, I believe, trying to take the fastest lap possibly, but I'm not too sure about that. Anyway, let's see who took the fastest lap anyway. Yeah, it was Rauchens, so Rauchens already has the fastest lap. Now as he rounds the final corner, he will finish at P12, and Mosqueta's P13, so what a race. It was absolute carnage. Whew. Wow. That was carnage. Well, hopefully I can get Spritzy and have a little chat with him. Wow. What a race. So, Spritzy wins, followed by RPM Eek, followed by Craig going P3, Big Poggy P4, Atlas Key P5, the Mike Factor P6, Go P7, Richie P8, Uklard P9, Mikhail P10, Smithy P11, Rauchins P12, Mosqueta P13, and the non-finishers are Spifey, Westy, Rusabach, Octavio, Sinful, and the Maverick. Well, that was a very exciting race. Well, I guess that's all, folks. The podium doesn't seem to be joining, so yeah, well, I hope you all had a good time watching the race, and I'll see you all tomorrow for Midgate, which I'll be driving in, so yeah, cheer on for me. Anyway, goodbye everybody.